We're going to talk a little bit about how you actually can use the HBA, the Home Business Academy, for your own network marketing business or affiliate marketing business. And we're also going to go through some setup items as we help Miss Gwendolyn get some things going inside of her account, because it seems like sometimes people don't realize that no matter what tool you have, there are different tools out there that you can use to build pages, which the Funnel Builder HBA allows you to be able to build pages, build websites, build funnels. So you can have lead magnets, booking widgets, so that way you can book, people on your calendar, um, and all of that stuff. And you can use all of things no matter what type of business you have. But sometimes people are not sure, you know what I'm saying, with some of the language that might be used on some of the videos and stuff, they're not sure how to apply it to their business. So I want to, make an attempt to kind of clarify that a little bit as well. All right. The first thing we'll do is I'll talk a little bit about how you can use it for your business, and then we'll get into some specific setups for Miss Gwendolyn and any questions that you had as well as we go. Does that make sense, Miss Gwendolyn? You good with that? The first thing I want to talk about is like how we use it for your own business. Here's the thing. You want to look at when you have your network marketing business, okay? And this is anybody, by the way. You have your network marketing business, all right? There are things that you need for your business, all right? What's one of the things that you would need for your business as it relates to being able to get more clients, okay? You may use a website, all right? You may have a website for your business, okay? So let's go ahead and put website here. This is one, and I'm gonna use this right here. I like it, so it could be bigger. Website, all right? So we take that out, put this here. All right, so that's something that you would use in your business. And then you say, okay, well, what else would I use in my business? All right, I'm gonna take this and we're gonna duplicate that, put this over here. Something else you might use in your business is a funnel. Okay, because a website and funnel is different. Okay, they look similar, but they have different purposes. So you may say, okay, use a funnel. All right, okay, what else might you use in your business? Okay, so let's duplicate this. We just bring it over here real quick. And something else that a person may use is lead magnets. And here's the thing, guys. As I'm showing you the things that I have learned, am learning, and have done, and am doing all of that, right? I have both an offline business, which is a car recycling business. That would be closer to what people call a traditional business, like a plumber, auto repair shop, or a hairdresser, those things, right? Those are what people consider a traditional business, right? I have that type of business. All right. I also have an online business. An online business would be what people consider like a network marketing business, affiliate marketing business, okay, a MLM business, right? All of that is what people put in the category of an online business, right? Because typically, not saying always, typically a person who has an online business, they typically only market it online. Notice I said not always, because personally, I'm gonna do mine offline as well, but we'll get into that in another training showing you guys how to do that. But the point of the matter is, the things that I'm putting up here as far as that some things that a person would need for their network marketing and affiliate marketing, we're just gonna call that in the online sector. We'll do a whole nother one for a traditional business. We're using this example today because that's what Miss Wendy has, and I wanted to make sure that I address that for her, but also anyone else, because it's a lot of people who get it confused, and that's okay. Because I'll be honest with you, when I first started learning to market online, I got it confused too. I didn't know. You don't know till you know, and then when you know, you're good, and that's cool. So you may use a website, you may use a funnel, you may use a lead magnet. Okay. What are some other things that a person might use in their online business, which is the affiliate and network marketing business? Okay. What else might they use? They might use just I'm not going to say that because that's under the funnel. They may use a booking page to book clients, booking page, right? To book clients. That's something that they may use. Okay. Right there. All right. So these are different things that a person will use in their online business. All right. Now, I'm going to kind of give you like just a brief explanation of these, because it's going to be brief because obviously, you know what I'm saying, other videos will go deeper into it, but just to make sure we're on the same page. A website is typically what a person thinks of when, like, if you just Google, where's the nearest repair shop, right? A person would be thinking about a website and it'll look something like this. I'll use this one actually, because my other one's not done, so I'll use this one. All right, so they'll be thinking something like this, where you have, you know, your hero section, you know, you have your front page. We ain't gonna get into the technical names, don't worry about that. You got your first page here and everything. You got a menu bar up here, so a person could get to other pages, you know, and then you have some more information down here, all of this stuff here. You may have a map if you actually do have an address. If you don't have an address, then you won't have a map, right? But this is what a person thinks of as a typical website, right? Where a person could go to different pages. Okay, like that, right? Like I got different pages. All right, that's what a person thinks of when they're thinking of a website. All right, now a funnel, what they're thinking of when they're thinking of a funnel, let me see what is. All right, let me put in my funnel so you can see the difference real quick. Okay. All right, now this is an example of a funnel. Okay, notice I don't have that menu bar up top. That menu bar was like this, where it says home, about, locations. That's what I have on my menu bar. That's called a navigation menu, right? I don't have that up top for my funnel, right? Most funnels don't. Notice I said most. That doesn't mean a person can't have it on their funnel, so don't think that. But most of them don't have the navigation up here, all right? Because a funnel is to basically get a person to pay attention to one section of what you want them to look at. Like, don't go looking at my about section. Don't go looking at my map. Don't go looking at my frequently asked questions. Don't go looking at nothing. Just look at what I want you to look at, right? Because I want you to convert on that, right? So it has a specific purpose, right? So a funnel would be like, this is all of this that you about to see is a page, right? I have a bar at the top. This is just like a headline, right? And then I got like what we would call a sub headline, right? There's just two headlines right here just to capture people's attention. Then I decided to put a video here, right? Some funnels don't have a video there, but I decided to put a video there with a button. The button is a call to action. That's like, what do I want this person to do? So with a funnel, you want a person to take one action, do one thing, right? Not other things, not looking at my about section and looking at all this other stuff. Just do one thing, right? So I want to do one thing, that button. So you're gonna see that button repeated throughout, right? And this is the funnel that I have. It just goes down, and all of this is describing that stuff that I'm talking about inside of that video. All of this is describing everything that I'm talking about in that video. So it's like one purpose. I want you to do one thing, click that button, right? This is the example of a funnel, okay? And then when a person clicks that button, this is what turns it into, let me go back here. All right, so we got the website funnel. All right, now what turns it into, let me do this right here, duplicate. We're gonna put this under funnel. Opt-in page. Okay, what turns it into an opt-in page now is, we'll go back to it. When a person clicks this button, they can opt in, meaning they can give me their information. Now, this is why that's important. And of course, we're gonna go over this on other videos, but why that's important to have is because when you click this, all right, and I have mine set up. This is called a pop-up. Don't worry about the terminology till we get to that point. But the point is, sometimes you'll see this already on the page. Sometimes you'll have to click the button to get to it. Don't matter which way you do. Point of the matter is, why do I want to have something to collect a person's information, to collect their name and their email? So that way, because not everybody buys right away. Like, somebody might come to your page about vacations, Ms. Wendy, and they may be, you know, checking out what you got on the page and everything, but they're not ready to actually message you to set up an appointment, or they're not ready to actually call you to set up an appointment to, you know, take a vacation. They might not be ready to take a vacation right now, right? But when they put in that name and email address, you will be able to capture that information on the back end of the system, right? So that way, now you have the ability to follow up with them through emails, right? Through emails that can go out, right? Whether you have it automatically set up with the autoresponder, which is a separate tool, or whether you have it set up and you like, hey, I'm gonna just use my CRM. CRM is Customer Relations Manager. All that means is this information, when a person opts into this page, right here gives you the name and email, I'll have that information inside of my HBA funnel builder, right? Even if I don't have an autoresponder set up, that information can be captured inside of the HBA funnel builder, right? So that way it's like, hey, if you want to reach out to them one by one, you totally can, right? Because you have their name and you have their email address to do that. Okay, so why is this important? Because again, if a person don't sign up right away for something, you want a way to be able to contact them, because if you don't have another way to reach out to them when they're ready in a week, or when they're ready in a month, or maybe they know they have an anniversary coming up in another 6 months, right? Or another 8 months, right? Now they maybe done forgot about you because they wasn't getting no emails from you. They wasn't getting no type of communications from you. Maybe they ain't been on Facebook in a while, because I know you post a lot on Facebook, which is great. Maybe they ain't been on Facebook in a while, right? So they ain't see your post recently. But when you have been able to capture that person's information, their name and email, and just in case you're wondering, yes, you can ask for other things. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are some forms that I ask for a phone number on some forms. I don't ask for it on this. But my point is, if you have some other way to contact them and able to, connect with them, you know what I'm saying, whether it be weekly or bi-weekly or monthly, then you have a way to kind of stay top of mind. Because when they say, like, out of sight, out of mind, when a person ready to do some traveling now, they done forgot about you because maybe they ain't been on Facebook seeing your posts, and they're not on your email list, so they not getting no emails from you. They done forgot about you. Now they see somebody else and they go ahead and talk to that person about taking their trip. When you like, man, it was, if I wanted, they had saw me one time, why they ain't reach out to me? Because they forgot about you. So collecting their information helps you be able to follow up with people on the back end. So that way it helps them not forget about you and gives you a way to continue to nurture them by giving them more value and letting them know maybe you have some specials coming up, right? That's going on, because you may not have no specials in January, but you may have, I don't even know when wedding season is. You might know, Miss Wendy, but you may not have some specials in January, but what if wedding season is in June? I don't know if it is, but let's just say it's in June. You might have some specials coming up for June. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe when the seasons change, you may not have a whole bunch of specials going on in December, right, when it's cold, but you might have a lot of specials going on in June or July when it's a little bit warmer. You might have some specials going to Hawaii or something. So you want to send those out to people, so that way it's like, okay, boom. Now they ready. They remember you because they've been getting your emails and everything. I'm going to hit up Wendy. I'm going to hit up Miss Wendy. And I'm going to be honest with you. This has been the best bang for its buck. Being able to follow up with people through email has been the best bang for its buck. What I mean by that is the amount that you pay to send emails is super cheap compared to the return that you can get on it. You know what I mean? That's what I mean by a good bang for its buck. It's not like you paying $500 a month to email people. You know what I'm saying? It's not like that, right? It winds up being pennies comparatively, right? Email marketing is super important, and it's super cheap comparatively, okay? So that's why you will want to have some type of opt-in page to begin with, okay? That is the purpose of that. Does that make sense so far, Miss Wendy? Unmute yourself and let me know what we're looking like.
Yes, it makes sense.
Okay, cool. Now let's go back to our little Canva thing right here. All right. So now a lead magnet, and getting to the lead magnet, that's the thing that me and Miss Wendy are going to go over, because Miss Wendy has a traveling business that she promotes on Facebook, and she has some beautiful pictures. I've seen her post. I try to follow. I haven't gotten through everybody, but I try to follow everybody that's in our team and here in the group. Their posts. Reason being, for one, I want to support. Okay. Business people need to support business people, whether I'm in a traveling or not is not the point. If we're not supporting each other, then what the hell is we doing? Is my thought anyway. Okay. Number two, also because I know sometimes people maybe not necessarily struggling like it's a bad thing, but they may need guidance, but they may haven't asked. That has been my experience with having Facebook groups. I can have a Facebook group with 300 people in it, and nobody ask a question, post it, because of different reasons. Sometimes people feel like they might be embarrassed if somebody else say something negative, which that don't happen in my group, because, like, I kick a person out, they being rude to somebody, but I never had to do that, to be honest with you. But I'm just saying, like, there's reasons why a person may not ask in a group. So as I'm looking, I'm like, okay, I see this person may need some assistance on that, so let me do a video on that. Let me do a training on that. So that way that person, doesn't have to feel singled out, but I can give a training that can help them move to the next section. And hopefully they'll start asking some questions in the group so we can get them even more help to what they need, okay? So the lead magnet is one. Now, here's what a lead magnet does. Okay. And again, there will be separate videos on lead magnets. You know, if y'all haven't been able to tell by now, since I started this group, I do content every single week, you know, multiple times a week, because I literally love doing content. So trust me, it is on my rapid list, long list of videos to make, because I love this shit. So the lead magnet, what that does is it gives you the opportunity to be able to collect someone's information. Remember, we talked about the name and email, but to be able to give value to people. Because if we're only posting things that say, hey, do you want to get a trip? You know, hey, we got 80% off this trip or 20% off this trip this week. You know, if we're only posting those type of things, that is a type of post to put. So that's good. Don't get me wrong. But if that's all we're putting, you don't really know who is watching your stuff. If they don't put a comment on it, if they don't put a like or a heart, you know, some type of reaction on it, Facebook doesn't have a way for us to know. We're talking about free marketing. We're not talking about ads, okay? For you to even know that that person might be somebody who's interested, right? So when you put out a lead magnet of something that a person needs to know about or wants to know about in your industry, okay? Like how to, you know, let's say a packing checklist to make sure that they don't forget any of the things that they need to take with them when they're about to go on their trip, right? And I can speak as a person who's not in the travel industry, right? So that means if I'm not in that industry, that means I'm not an expert. And that also means that when I go to take a trip, I be up there having to write a list of things to not forget. So what does that mean? That means that that will be valuable info for me. When I had to take a trip to go see my mom some years back up in New York, you know what I'm saying? Because she has some health issues going on. I had to pop on a flight or whatever. I literally had to, I wrote it down. I literally had to get out pen and paper to write down what items to take with me so that I would not forget. But imagine if somebody who does travel and everything, and I wound up, you know, taking a plane. So I did travel, you know what I mean? But I didn't see anybody on my timeline talking about traveling at the time or whatever. So I, you know, just went up there to one of them regular websites or whatever, you know what I'm saying, and booked the flight. But the point is, if I had already been on someone else's email list that was sending me information, right, on a regular basis, okay, letting me know that they're an expert in this. When I say expert, don't get caught up in that. It doesn't mean that you know everything. It means that you know more than me. That's all it means. You know more than me. Then it'll be like, this person sent me this checklist on how to, you know, make sure that I don't forget items. That would have been super valuable for me. Then that means that person is way more valuable for me to be on their email list than for me to be connected to somebody else who didn't give me that value. So that's where I'm coming from with that lead magnet. It shows people that you're the expert, meaning you know more than them in that area. You're the expert, and it makes them feel like, man, you know, Wendy know her stuff, and Wendy's a giver. People like to lock arms with givers. They like to do business with givers. You know what I mean? The people they feel like is gonna you know, be able to solve their issue, whatever issue that they're having. You know, so it would have been like, well, man, okay, I got this checklist right here. Well, shoot, let me see if Wendy might know a better route for me to go to get there. You know what I mean? I only know the regular stuff to get somewhere, like Googling something or whatever. I only know the regular places to get tickets and stuff like that. But Wendy, the expert in travel, she may know, you know, a better route to take, saying, hey, if you go this day, you know, and you do these things, then you actually can get a better rate. You know, if you book through my company, you might can get a better rate. I wouldn't know that otherwise, right? And I wouldn't even know to be reaching out to her unless she had given me some value before, and now she's above. Now that puts her above those $1 million companies, because I don't have a connection to the $1 million companies that's on Google. But I would have had a social connection with Wendy, because she gave me something. They ain't give me nothing. She gave me something. She gave me something that I needed, which is the value, which is the lead magnet. And see, a lot of times what happens is people think that what they're giving a person may not be really valuable, because see, you're in the industry. So you may say, oh, well, man, giving a person a checklist on what stuff not to forget when they go on their trip, man, they should know that. That's common sense. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, and I'm a very intelligent person, okay? It ain't common sense, right? And then when you're in the midst of trying to pack, right, you're gonna forget something. It's quite possible that you're gonna forget something. Okay, let me tell you that, right? I had to Write that list and go over it a few times. You know what I mean? Because the last thing you want to have happen is you forget some of the important things, and then you get to where you're going, and now you got to go out there to the store. I literally went in. It was snowing, so it might have been January. You know what I'm saying? When I went to New York, bro, they had a snowstorm. Do I really want to wait till I get all the way to New York and remember that I forgot to pack my toothpaste, and now I got to go to the store in the New York snowstorm, and they don't close the roads in New York, bro. Like, you literally driving in snow, like, see what I'm saying? So that would have been valuable to me, even though, you know what I'm saying, Wendy wouldn't have thought it was valuable because she knows it. So you want to keep in mind that when you're making a lead magnet, whatever content you're using, you want to keep the audience in mind. It's about what's valuable to them, not whether or not you feel like, oh, well, man, that ain't good enough. That ain't good, because it's a lot of stuff we don't know. We know our area, but we don't know your area, which is why you're the expert. And that goes for any type of network marketing business and affiliate business and online business, by the way. I'm just using travel because that's what Miss Wendy does. Okay. So when we're talking about a lead magnet, you say, okay, well, what is it? It is in the generic sense. We're going to use generic sense, and then we're going to talk about the real sense. In the generic sense, it is, let's put it this way, free value given in exchange for contact information. All right. Now, the definition I give you, that doesn't mean that's the definition you're going to find out there, but when you look at other definitions, you're going to see it's the same thing. All right. It'd be worded different, but it's the same thing. So don't get caught up in that. Okay. Free value given in exchange for contact information. You say, okay, well, what's this free value? Let's duplicate this. All right. Because before we get into setting this up, it's important that we understand this, because it's one thing to set something up, but it's another thing to understand why you're even doing it. Because if you don't even understand why you're even doing this, like, man, I don't want to take all the time doing this. It don't even seem like it's going to do nothing, because you don't understand, because a person may not understand the value of it. All right. So it could be a PDF checklist. It could be a checklist, right? That's something that can be a lead magnet. It could be a survey, okay? It could be a quiz. It could be a video. It can be a video series, because one video is one video, but it could be a video series. It can be a audio, and it can be physical products. Don't get me wrong now. It can be physical products. It can, all right? Those are not the ones that we just happen to be dealing with, but it can be physical products, because physical products cost you more money every time. Each product costs you more money. So typically lead magnets are like checklists, because they're digital, right? Meaning that you don't have to pay every time you send somebody a checklist. You don't have to pay every time you send somebody a survey. You don't have to pay every time you send someone a quiz or a video series or audio or physical products. All of these things, okay, would solve some type of problem that the person may have at that time. Okay, but these are just different examples. All right. And so the one that we have that's already created, and of course a person could create however many they want. Right. I have more than one lead magnet. I don't roll with just one. I roll with more than one. Right. But the point is, we have one that's already created, and it happens to be a checklist. Right. They're not difficult to create once you know how to create them. And like I said, we'll go over different ways to create them in another video. But the point is, the one we're going to use is a PDF checklist. But this is just an example of different type of lead magnets a person can have. And like I said, the ones that we typically would use would be the ones that are digital, meaning you don't have to actually have a physical product to give the person. A person will opt into your funnel, and they will get something in return. You get the email and contact information, so that way you can follow up on the back end, so that way you stay front of mind for them. Okay. Does that make sense, Ms. Wendy? Let me know where you at, because this part right here of understanding a lead magnet as far as its importance, this part right here is important for us for today. So I want to make sure if we got any questions on that, stop me.
Yes, it makes sense.
Cool. All right. So let me ask you a question. All right. Let me ask you a question, Ms. Wendy. So you said it makes sense. So let me ask you, what type of questions would your typical type of customer that you're reaching out to, or trying to attract, what type of questions might that person have, or concerns that person may have regarding the travel industry? Tell me.
Um,
Hmm.
well, I would think probably the travel list would be very good, very helpful. I mean, the people want to know, like, even with I have a group going out in a couple of weeks, well, next week actually, and packing list is definitely that's been a question asked.
All right, give me one more that people would that you think would help people, or that they ask things that you know that because you're the expert. So things that you have heard them ask about or see them struggle with, or whatever the case may be. Tell me one more.
Questions first time cruisers ask.
Like
first time cruisers.
Okay, so the first time they take a cruise, like the questions they'll be asking, like a frequently asked questions list for first time cruisers.
Yeah,
that's a good one. Cause I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I thought about taking a cruise. This was before whatever. I ain't really a traveler, but you know what I'm saying. I'm like, at some point I do want to travel, and this literally is stuff I would have a question about. You know what I'm saying? Like I would have to ask the travel agency this. It's like a person could be like, oh, well, you could just Google it. Yes, and it's not as effective. Here's the thing: a person can Google anything, right? But why do we do business with people? Because I want to be able to go back and forth, ask this person this, talk to them, because I can Google something and get this answer, this answer. I can get 20,000 different answers, and what happens is I can still be confused about FAQs for first-time cruisers. But if I'm talking to a human, if I'm talking to Miss Wendy about this, right? I'm seeing that she's posted on the wall that she's taken trips before, because I see you had took a trip recently or whatever, and that she's helping people take trips. Then I know she's doing it. She's not just taking it that she got from ChatGPT and she don't really know it and putting it on the internet. She's showing me she actually doing the thing. So that is the difference between a person can just Google it, but you don't know somebody put that out there who might ain't never took a trip in their damn life. Like if I start posting content about, yes, these are the things that you want to do when you get ready to go on a trip, but I just told you I don't even travel. So I would be taking secondhand information, right? Just put it out there. But whereas Ms. Wendy got experience in that, she actually is in it. She's educating herself about it, and she actually has taken a trip. So it's like I would get more value from dealing with her than I would just on trying to Google this information myself. So I want to put that out there because a lot of times people try and disqualify themselves by saying, oh, well, a person could just Google that. They don't need me. No, bro, like they need you. If they didn't need you, people wouldn't have travel agencies. There wouldn't be people who help other people take trips if they didn't need you. You see what I'm saying? Don't let the AI thing make you think that they don't need the humans, because I know AI is big and we use AI as a tool. But don't let that make you think that people don't need you for what you do, because I'm here to tell you, as someone who don't know about the travel industry, that I would feel more comfortable, and I'm obviously internet savvy, obviously, right? And I would rather speak with a person, a human, about, hey man, I got your thing, your checklist, or I looked at these questions right here, for the first time cruisers and everything. And it answered a lot of questions. But here's one of the concerns I have, or I was thinking about taking a trip here. What you think about that? Getting their opinion, I was thinking about taking a trip to Cabo. What do you think my drawbacks would be to going to Cabo or something like that? It's a different experience, man. And I know we all can relate to that, because it's not like we're all 10. You know what I'm saying? We're all adults, so we're here before ChatGPT blew up, is what I'm saying. We was here before that, and we was dealing with so keep that in mind. But these are two great things. I would definitely stamp that these are two great things, because I know myself as I would be a first-time vacationer, if you will. Because like I said, when I went up to New York, it wasn't really a vacation. I went up there because my mom was having some health issues, but I still had to travel. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, especially when a person gets to a certain age, typically, I'm not saying everybody, but typically, I've been an entrepreneur, I don't even know, man. It's probably been like 20 years, man. It's been a long time. You know what I'm saying? And you have your ups and downs. You have your times where you putting in, 10, 12 hours a day. Yes, you have your times where you only putting in 2 hours a day, but my point is, you going, it get to a point where you like, Shit, bills paid. Shit, ain't no kids at home. Shoot, let me just go on and see. You know what I mean? Let me go on and see how much this trip gonna be. You know what I'm saying? You start, you know, kind of investigating, and you want somebody to help you with that. You know what I'm saying? So that way, if you have to plan to save up, if you know, like, okay, after I done talked to Miss Wendy, she said the trip that I feel like I want to take, after I talked to her, she helped me figure that out, gonna run me XYZ amount of dollars. Then now I know that's what I need to work on. But like, all right, I'm gonna put my savings, do this, you know, into my savings account or whatever. You know what I mean? So that way at the end of the year or whenever I decide I'm gonna take it, boom. Now I'm gonna take that trip and treat myself. Because I ain't never been on no cruise. I want to go on a cruise. You know what I'm saying? But I couldn't tell you how much cruise costs. I could tell you what I done seen on the internet. But you know how that should be. It'd be like, yeah, you're going on a cruise for $2.99. But it'd be all the fine print down tell you. But Miss Wendy gonna go ahead and lay it out to you what it is. Because you're gonna ask her, like, man, what's the fine print? And you're like, okay, this is what it is. This. And you ask all them questions right there versus just a plain website and you're not actually, you know what I'm saying, dealing with a person. You're gonna make assumptions. Versus when you're dealing with a person like Miss Wendy, you ain't making assumptions. You can ask. You know what I mean? So I'm just putting it out there that, like, you know, this is real stuff. So these are two great ones. So basically, if I would make, I'm a number these because they're separate lead magnets, right? These are two different types of lead magnets you can make, right? A packing list for somebody who's, you know, needs to make sure they got all their stuff before they go out, and that's one of the ones that we made that we're gonna show today. And then the FAQ for first-time cruisers will be another one. Okay, both of those can be put in the format of a PDF checklist. All right. Now, hopefully you can see clearly now how you're going to be able to use the Home Business Academy, better known as HBA, for your network marketing and affiliate marketing business. It's not about you getting the Home Business Academy because you want to promote the Home Business Academy, which obviously you can. You know, there is an affiliate program, and we'll talk about that on another video where you can earn 80% commission. But the whole point is you never have to promote the Home Business Academy. You use it for your own network marketing or affiliate marketing business because you're going to need the tools. That means you're going to need to build a website, or maybe you'll need to build funnels, or maybe you'll need to build opt-in pages, lead magnets, so that way you can, you know, get as many leads as you want for your business. Or maybe you're going to need a booking page because maybe you're actually booking clients, you know, in to set up a time to talk with you. All of those things, you can use the Home Business Academy to create all those things at an unlimited amount. That means unlimited websites, unlimited funnel pages, unlimited funnels, unlimited booking pages, opt-in pages, and create as many lead magnets as you want. So that is how you're going to be able to use it. Now, guys, definitely, if you're finding some value, hit the subscribe button and don't forget to ring the bell, baby, so you can be alerted next time I come out with some content. And if you want to go ahead and check out the Home Business Academy and get a hold of this funnel builder with me and grab all of my bonuses, click the first link in the description. Join my team, and you already know, baby, I'm gonna take care of you. And what? I'll go see you on the inside, and we're gonna take this ride to the top. All right, and we at